we can go on about this for far too
long. I
long.
want to move on from this. This is leading us to weird territory. Steve Harvey. Let's talk about Steve Harvey. Have you heard about this?
No.
Him basically saying, yeah, you don't need it like in order to like get rich or in order to make, I'm not gonna lie. I did not do my homework on this one. I just saw kind of the headlines and the general way people were talking about it was that Steve Harvey was essentially saying like, yeah, you don't sleep if you want to like, make it, you gotta like put in the hours, which is both factual as well as stupid. Now, and I'll explain. So it's factual in terms of like, you just need to work really hard in order to get wherever you're trying to go. But also, you need to fucking sleep. It's stupid. Like this whole idea of never sleep, just stay up 24 hours a day. You like that's not fucking reality. Like, or I'll even say this. Sure, that's reality for some people because some people can just naturally work without fucking getting a lot of sleep, right? Some people fucking need sleep in order for their brains to function. I'm one of those fucking people. And I don't even need that much sleep. Like,
yeah.
I literally only need about maybe 4 or 5 hours. And I'm relatively good. That's usually about all I sleep anyways, right? But I need some sleep so that my brain fucking functions, Like, at the end of the day, I'm my dumbest at the end of the day. And you can tell by the fact that we're shooting this podcast at night and half the shit I said is just stupid, right? But my brain works less at night than in the morning. I'm fucking sharp as a fucking tack. I can
attack. You could have went with something sharper.
Sharp as a knife.
Fucking katana,
sharp as
a needle.
I don't like the way you say katana. Like you. I don't know what
Hattori Henzo.
Yeah. I don't even know what you said. It just sounds funny.
From Kill Bill. Remember she went and got the Hattori Henzo sword?
I don't remember that even remotely.
To Kill Bill?
That was so far. That the whole series was so long ago. And I only kind of halfway watched. I don't even think I watched the last one.
Fucking amazing, those
I don't
movies.
think I watched part 2. There's 2 parts.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, sharp is attack. Attack is pointy. It's not sharp.
But yeah, fair enough.
It's pointy.
Yeah. I thought about that. And, if you were a better man, you would have just let that go.
I think you're the gay character.
Why? Yo,
in the Marvel universe.
Stop. Abandon ship on this joke. Abandon ship.
Yeah. I might get in trouble for that one.
Yeah. I thought I would be a little, or I'm always sharper in the morning than I am at night, and that's because I think as the day just goes on, I just get more tired. I can still work, I can still do shit, but it's definitely not at the quality of when I wake up and I've had like at least some hours of sleep. Why do you think in school, you stay up all night doing some dumb shit, you wake up in the morning, knock out that 20 pages that that's supposed to be due by 9 a.m. and you're good to go,
Yeah. And we had a similar argument to this. It was me, you, Fabian.
Oh, God.
We were talking about sleep and napping. And you know what? I actually did. So to Fabian's credit, I actually did read a recent like little article thing or whatever it's called. Yeah. That NASA has like, they did a study on sleep and whatnot. And they did find that a 20 to 30 minute nap is the most effective amount of nap time. Anything shorter than 20 minutes and you're not going to get the type of rest that you need. Anything longer for a nap would be too much, right? So they said it's between 20 and 30 minutes, and 26 minutes is actually the perfect amount of time. But how the fuck do you
but for one, I would have to see
so
that.
Shout out to Fabe for
I refuse.
So,
I refuse.
Being partially right here. But when I look back at the argument we were having, there were 2 different arguments going on. It was the difference between napping and sleep, right? I think he was arguing, the nap cycle pattern and what's effective there, and we were talking sleep. But anyway,
he was saying that naps are like optimum for people in terms of like their sleep patterns, right? My only argument in that entire thing was that not everybody has the same like sleep pattern. That there are such a things as sleep patterns, right? Like that we all go through the same sort of cycles or sleep cycles, but not everybody's is the same, right? So that means like my nap time, which is why I'm curious to read this article, because coming up with a specific time would mean that everybody should get 26 minutes of nap time, right? But I'm like, but everybody's sleep cycles, they're different from different lengths. So how would that make any sense?
Yeah, that, and then it's like, napping for 20. It's like, when is that 26-minute nap time most optimal, right? Is it around noon? Is it like 2 p.m.? Like when do you take your nap? Like there are a lot of questions I have to ask about that. But anyway,
send me that article.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But anyway,
Steve Harvey. Yeah.
Let's get back to Steve. Fuck did he say?
Yeah. So yeah, he basically was like, hey, yeah, you don't need to sleep. You need to
work harder,
and just put in the work. Which again, broadly speaking, sure, he's right. But I mean, like, some people just function better when they've had a lot of fucking sleep. Like, what do you want me to fucking tell you? Like, and I don't think it's about the sleep so much as how productive you are with the time that you have, whether you have 18 hours that you're working a day or whether you have 5, right? Like, if you're insanely productive in those 5 hours, then not having any sleep doesn't do you any better or worse. That just is like, I was mad productive for those 5 hours. I guess his idea is like, oh no, but if you make those 5 hours 10 hours, then that'll be doubly productive. But it's like, no, because there's such a thing as called in economics, there's the law of diminishing returns, right? Like, where you get to a certain point where it just fucking nosedives, like where you've worked to your optimum amount and then it just
and then your
dies off a fucking cliff, right?
It goes off the cliff, right? And then there's someone else who is going to come and give you another theory about, no, like, sleep, get more sleep, or at least value your sleep more. I listened to Arnold Schwarzenegger's commencement speech. I forget at what university it was, like University of Southern California or something like that, where he talked about like strategizing your sleep and using your waking hours effectively, right? He said, if you're getting 7 hours of sleep and you're working 8-hour days, that's 15 hours right there. That's kind of like out of your control, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, what are you going to do with those other 9 hours? He was like, his schedule, he would, all right, I've got 2 or 3 hours a day that I want to be at the gym. I'm going to spend 1 hour a day learning something new. I'm going to, spend 2 hours a day resting, right? So he's like, look at your 24 hours a day, build out a schedule, use that time strategically, but absolutely value your sleep. Try and get as much of it as possible. And if you need to take a nap throughout the day, just, again, use that time effectively. And I think that is more realistic than saying, oh, sleep less. Right?
Yeah.
Because not everybody works like that. So I think what Steve's doing, right, that happens when a person has become very successful and they're like, well, in my life, I don't get any sleep. And Steve Harvey is in show business, right? It's a different industry than for someone who is, developing an app where they're, coding, right? It's a little bit different. Or someone who's in, someone who's in finance, someone who's in education, someone who's an author, or someone who's writing a screenplay.
Yeah.
Different. You can't
you can't
that
just blanketly say.
You can't take that one method and apply it to everyone's life. So
yeah, that's very stupid.
As much as I love Steve Harvey, shut the fuck up next time.
I don't. He says a lot of stupid things in his time. It's like one of those weird things where the more time you give people to say things, the dumber you think they are. Like, you think somebody's like, oh my god, this person's great, but it's because you haven't heard them speak that much.
Yeah.
Like, it's like how we view like personalities of like people who are really quiet. We just assume are like really smart, but then they start saying some shit and you're just like, yeah, bruh,
stay quiet.
Go back to being quiet.
And also what happens is when someone is like a public figure, right? Someone's very popular and someone's very liked.
Yeah.
Society tends to take the things that they've said as insightful, as valuable.
And the
as
only reason why it's
meaningful.
valuable is because you're fucking like you're rich and successful. Like that. Like there's no like and honestly, you're successful in a very sort of specific thing. It's not like broadly speaking. This always goes back to my fucking thing that I had about Kanye.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You know who's not successful? You.
That fucking beer.
So we're gonna take a little break here to.
No, we are not. We're gonna push forward.
No, and I don't mean we're actually gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a break here to explain what just happened. I think you were gonna go and shit on Kanye really quickly,
and then
and you knocked over your
Kanye through his richery,
and you knocked over your Duck Pin Pale Ale, a Baltimore original by Union Craft Brewing.
Hey.
Yeah, they need to send us
that was
check
a good
for that.
Yeah, that was a good segue.
You
but
knocked
yeah,
over your beer, you spilled it on your leg. You look stupid. Stupid.
The only reason why I look stupid is because you keep saying it. We could have just moved on immediately, but you insisted on dwindling on it.
Yeah, and you're a piece of shit too, right?
Jesus Christ.
Just throw on other insults.
Hey, just any insult you could throw at me right now. No, okay, so I was going to say...
Isn't that the least creative insult?
You're an idiot?
No, like you're a piece of shit.
Oh, you're a piece of shit?
Because I've been called that many times, right? by many women. And I've always thought, like, be more creative. Insult me.
I mean, if it gets the job done.
You're a piece of shit. Like,
it gets the job done. It's it's effective. It's straight to the point. It's condensed. Yeah, I think it, like if it describes, like you know, when my old US history teacher,
very useful. It can be used as fertilizer.
That's all you got.
Dogs eat it.
Why is that a good thing? My old U.S. history teacher from middle school used to say, and I forget who gets credit for the line, but brevity is the soul of wit, and I've always tried to like adopt that idea.
You know what's funny about that word brevity? Like sometimes I know what it means, and then there'll be moments where I forget what it means, and this is one of those
brief.
moments.
It's just another way of saying brief. Brevity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
say brief next time. We're recording.
It's the fucking line. What do you want me to do?
This is live.
Yo, this is a very off podcast. We've had so many missteps in this podcast.
Don't say big words. You got to run that shit by me before we start recording.
I'll send you a list of words I'm going to use.
I'm going to use brevity, Genesis, story arc.
But yeah. But anyways, about what I was about to say about Kanye is that, it's what I've always said on this podcast. Go back to any podcast that we've done that we've talked about Kanye. It's this whole idea of her, attributing to him this blanket label as genius, right? It's dangerous, right? Because if you're talking about music, you're right. Kanye is a musical genius. Like the things he can do, his talents as a producer, it's almost unparalleled in terms of what he's able to do, right? Although it kind of is. I mean, there's other great producers out there, but sure, if you want to say he's a genius because of that, great. I'll even spot you the whole, Yeezys. I'll even spot you that, even though I don't agree. I think they fucking just look like dad shoes, and it's kind of just bullshit. He could just walk around with 4XTs and suddenly, oh, Kanye's a genius. He's a fashion genius.
So here's why he gets genius in like fashion and footwear is because he'll start a trend, and then everybody will hate it in the beginning. And then the trend will take off like wildfire. And
but isn't that just
every
persistence?
Other brand will start doing it. Not really. I mean, Kanye.
That's just persistence. That means that you're just going to do something until it just comes in vogue, which is everything, right? Like nerds are fucking in vogue.
Everyone tries to create a trend, right? Very few people have been so
That's why I
successful
said persistence.
Like Kanye.
When you try to create a trend, what happens? You try to create the trend, and it doesn't take, and you're like, all right, what's the next shit I can try? Kanye's like, I don't give a shit. This is what I'm going to do, right? And you're just persistent in that you're going to make this a thing.
So persistence is like hey, I'm going to try and do something, and I'm going to keep trying it until it works, right? I think where Kanye gets credit is that he wasn't necessarily set out to start a trend.
What?
No, listen, keep listening. So he didn't set out to like, hey, I'm gonna start a trend and I'm gonna keep working at developing this trend until it takes off. Kanye was just like, this is what I'm wearing, this is what I'm doing, and then people just naturally gravitated towards it because it actually was good shit, right?
Yeah, you remember when we talk about like you trying to say something and making it trying to sound like wiser than it actually is.
So if you wear a certain outfit, right?
Sure.
And then on Monday, I'm like, that outfit looks stupid.
Yeah.
But by Friday, everybody's dressing like you. It's not because, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you were like forcing it on everybody and you were...
it absolutely is.
No,
because
it could just be
past
that
Monday, if somebody said it was trash Monday and you stop wearing it after Monday, nobody's going to be wearing it by Friday if you stop wearing it after Monday.
Or what if you wore it on Monday and someone was like, yo, that shit is stupid. But by Friday, they were like, yo, that was actually dope.
But is that, but again, like the logic that I'm trying to, and one more minute on this, but the logic of what I'm trying to say is it is your persistence that makes the thing a thing, right? Because if Kanye doesn't continue to just rock his Yeezys, to continue to rock the 5XTs, and I like how it just keeps growing by 1X every time that I mention it, it doesn't become a thing if he doesn't continue to do it. If he does it one time and he abandons ship and he's like, damn, that backlash that I got wasn't really, what I was looking for. Let me try to see about something else. That thing doesn't become anything. It disappears into the ether, right? How many trends have they tried to impress upon popular culture that didn't take initially, right? That they expressed once and then they abandoned ship, right? It's the trends that they are persistent about, right? That everybody keeps seeing this thing somewhere. Oh my God, I just saw another person. I thought they were trash, but then, I started looking, I'm like, fuck it. This might be the shit. But if you try something once and then you stop doing it and nobody ever sees it again, it never becomes a fucking thing. It's persistence that makes it.
I think we disagree on what is persistent and what is just someone saying, hey, this is what I do and I'm going to keep doing it.
Okay,
but I'm not persistently trying to set a trend. I'm just being an individual.
If I can speak to that, Kanye tries to dress it up as, I'm not trying to be a trend maker, or trendsetter. I'm just doing me. That's bullshit. Kanye is trying to sell shoes and t-shirts. Point big clear. I kind of started on that.
Yeah.
I muttered that.
Point
blank period is what I'm saying.
So we can go back and forth about it. But
yeah.
So musically, yes. In that box, when it comes to music, Kanye, I'll give him the genius thing because his catalog is incredible, right? Sure. Outside of music, like in fashion, he's been very successful, right? Genius? Very successful, yes.
Where I was going with that is I'll spot him that. I'll spot you that, right? But then when you just say Kanye West, the statement Kanye West is a genius, now people start listening to him on other shit. And when he starts saying crazy shit like, slavery is just a mind frame, now we start being like, wait, why is my genius saying something that is patently or just at least patently sounds stupid?
But see, like, I think when people say Kanye West is a genius, it's 50% off, right? It's a discount, right? We don't actually mean like this guy is a genius.
No, but that's why we give relevance to the shit that he says, right? That's why we pay attention to anything Kanye says, is because we believe, oh my God, this is our genius we're talking about. This is the guy who's smarter than anybody, right? Because we believe that he's so smart in one thing that, and I'm not just using this as a Kanye bashing. I'm using this in terms of Steve Harvey, in terms of, because people have platforms, we just assume that they are, we should listen to them, right?
Yeah. So I'll agree with that. Again, it goes back to if someone is very well liked, very popular, very famous, a person like Steve Harvey, even if they say something very stupid, that an average person, like, if you walked into the bank and the cashier behind the counter who's, probably a college graduate who's, got a good job, has a good career, who's a fairly intelligent person, if that person were to say it, you'd be like, yo, you're a fucking idiot. Can I speak to the branch manager, right?
Yeah.
But if Kanye says it, you're like, people are like, holy shit.
Wait a minute.
Let me listen to it. Let me retweet it. Let me like it. Let me share it.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's like just a thing in society. Why it's a thing, I don't know, but
yeah, because we are unable. Well, it's amplified, but
if
also
10 million people hear it, a lot of people may believe it or may take it seriously.
No, but
or at least you're going to hear people repeat it more.
But here's the danger of it, right? So Kanye gets the label of he's a genius in one aspect, right? So that's why I think that's why he has the platform that he has, is because he's gained that status as a genius in one respect. But it's different if you hear Snooki from fucking Jersey Shore say, hey, don't sleep, or, whatever. Like, that's different, because we're going to be like, shut up, Snooki. Like, whatever. We're not going to, because nobody's labeling her genius at anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's when we give people that credence of genius, or we hold them in high regard in one aspect, that we just assume that they're, sensible in other aspects, when it's like, no, that they're completely divorced of one another. Just because you're really good at one thing does not mean you know shit about anything else.
Yeah. And I would like to believe that we're smart enough to say, all right, no, I'm not going to take Kanye's medical advice.
We're not.
Yeah, I'm not going to take Zavralta because Kanye told me to ask my doctor about that subscription. I'm not going to do that. But no, we're not.
We're not.
Society is not.
Not at all.
If Kanye says, you need to take new Zilafia,
just a lot of
Zilafia is probably like a
medicines,
German medicine, but Zilafia sounds like, ask your doctor about Zilafia, right?
Yeah, I feel like if you started with Z, it just automatically sounds.
It sounds like a medicine, right?
Yeah, you'll see.
And people, Kanye, Dr. Weinstein.
Right? Yikes!
Right?
Hopefully you don't have that.
Not
doctor.
the doctor you really want to go to. Kanye told me to ask you about Zilafia, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna prescribe that shit."
All right. Yeah. So, long story short, Steve Harvey made some comments. Again, I didn't really even look into it. It's just seeing exactly. You all right?
It was a bug.
Yikes!
But bug in the studio.
Yeah. So, long story short, Steve Harvey. It sounds stupid.
Yeah, I hate when people say shit like that. So fuck Steve Harvey.
All right, moving on. All right, so
love Family Feud though.
Oh, excellent game.
Yeah,
I'll stay up and watch that any night. Yeah. He's a genius at Family Feud. Although he doesn't really do much except for just walk around and say stupid comments.
Reads the answers.
Yeah, just act a surprise. I can't believe.
Yeah,
that you would say that.
What's the number one fruit that starts with an A? Like, oh, you got it right. Apple was the number one answer of fruits that start with an A. Cut the commercial. Gets 20 mil.
All right. I should have did this at the beginning, but fuck it, we'll do it now.